And welcome. This is Brian Keith Noonan, and you are tuning into Crypto Dynamics Investment Club live with JOBY WEEKS on location in Reykjavik, Iceland, and lovely friend.
Beautiful lady to join me. I got a whole house full of Bitcoin miners. We got Dave over here, one of my good buddies, mining away on it. And you know, we thought we got good internet. Let's do a Zoom before my internet dies out on me like last time.
Yes. This is our second call with one of the original co-founders of Bitclub Network, our Bitcoin and Ethereum mining operation up in Iceland. And last time when he was in Sicily, as he tends to trot around the globe, the internet connection wasn't good. So we had some audio problems. But we're going to make up for that now. So tell us what's going on up there, Joey. And for just housekeeping here, could everybody please mute yourselves? And
probably best that you just mute everybody and then unmute me, and then we can open
that too
after. Because I tell you what, people start clinging in, and all of a sudden they forget to mute Brian in the background, all that stuff.
Stand by.
Okay.
1 sec.
Unmuted. Hello.
Okay, you should be good to go, Joby.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Why don't we record this too, so that we can send the record link for the people that can't get on.
Absolutely, and I'll be uploading it to YouTube as well. I'll send you the link to that later if you don't want to bother recording.
No problem. Thanks. Well, so I got Corey here. Corey's been following me around.
Hold on, wait. Let me just stop this bell ringing thing. Hold on. All right, you can go ahead, Joby. I'll sort it out.
Oh, good. So I got Corey here. Corey has been following us for the last couple of months around the world as we bring Bitcoin and the blockchain to the world. It's been pretty exciting. We were at the Sahara Desert, whipping across Morocco and doing Bitcoin blockchain. You know, there's lots of people that don't even have bank accounts, you know, so Bitcoin is really easy for them to set up a wallet and instantly conduct business with anyone, anywhere in the world. We did Mount Everest the month before. We rented helicopters and did the hikes in the Himalayas. And next month we're going to Necker Island with Richard Branson and all these Bitcoins and blockchain summit out there. And the next month we're in fighter jets in Russia, going to the edge of space and doing all these epic adventures while also bringing Bitcoin to the world, right? So it's like interesting, you know, how can you make money everywhere? And with Bitclub you can, because Bitcoin knows no borders.
Absolutely. And by the way, I want to be you when I grow up, by the way.
We got the sizzle done, and now we're actually filming episodes. Tomorrow we go to PorcFest in New Hampshire, and then we go to Montana and all these. It's fun. And they're all Bitcoin type related, free energy, new disruptive technology things. So it's interesting. It's cutting edge, you know, and so just trying to get an army of people that want to change the world. We want to help people stay healthy so they don't need to be slaves to the pharmaceutical cartel. We want to get people out of the bank so they don't have to be debt slaves to the banking cartel. We want to get everyone off the grid, generating their own free electricity and driving Teslas so they don't have to be slaves to the oil cartel, etc. I want to free humanity, and that's what this is all about. And that's why it's so exciting for me and why I can just do it every single day and not get tired.
Absolutely.
Last week I was in Malta, and we had a lunch, and she decided to fly up to Iceland to come and check out there. She's really excited. So we're now training people who will train people who train people about what is Bitcoin, what are wallets, what is the blockchain, what's an exchange, how can we get started, what's Google Authenticator, how to protect ourselves from, getting our identity stolen, and all these things that are important when we're dealing in, the information age, the digital age, this whole Internet 2.0 thing. And, in the information age, of course, everybody that gets information first and applies that knowledge can position themselves to make a fortune. And it's not knowledge that's power. It's in the application of that knowledge. And that's what we're, encouraging people to do, is let's apply that knowledge. So basically this week we've been up here in Iceland, and we've done all the fun stuff you can do. I mean, we went to a party in the glacier. They actually carved a hole into the glacier, and it was interesting, a big secret solstice thing. We went to the data center, about 200 members from around the world, from Japan and China and Korea and Europe and America, all over the world. People were flying in to see our data center. And we didn't even actually announce that we were even doing this. This was kind of just like I posted it to the Skype chat, and a couple other people shared the link. And before I know it, we've got 200 people in. We got 4 busloads full of people. And so Corey's got some great photography drone, the data center with video, and of course, droned over the Blue Lagoon and the geothermal power plant, so everyone can see how we run our data center. We're in Iceland because it's the cheapest electricity in the world. It's geothermal. It's hot water that's boiled by a volcano. So we're turning a volcano heat into Bitcoin. That's basically what we're doing. And or Ethereum, or whatever you want to mine. I mean, we've got the ability to point your power, so you can mine Ethereum one day, Zcash the other day, Monero the next. Whatever you think is going to be the most profitable, coin or digital asset, if you will. So that's kind of the update. It was really fun, and I'm just here to answer any questions. And if you would like to share, since this was your first event, just tell everybody kind of what you were thinking and what's Bitcoin going to do for your world now.
Well, I kind of needed this trip. I've traveled quite a bit recently, but this was like I was already excited for it because after I met Joby, I just knew I was going to get something that was like way over up there at the top. This is going to get me to where I want to be with not just my financial goals, but in terms of helping people come in and literally start an income and get not just freedom from their 9 to 5, but give them things that they're gonna get the way not just to make their dreams fulfilled, but just be busy beyond them. So I'm excited. I love the circle. Like I don't think I've ever been in something and I had every single person. Yeah, I'll help you. When you get back home, just hit me up and I'll help you. I was like, okay, well, I got all the help in the world in this circle. So the circle is amazing, and what blockchain is offering is also like I still need to learn more, but I'm already kind of getting the idea of it. But I can see that it's something that's definitely like there's a huge future for not just me, but just tons of people that I plan to get in and work with on this.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's literally the license to print money, and I'm one of the newest co-founders in Bitclub after being informed about it from my buddy Daryl Hill here, another ex-Marine who introduced me to Joby, and we looked through the whole operation, the whole opportunity, and it is totally legit and it's totally profitable, and everything that goes into my cryptocurrency investment group, which I just posted the link to in the chat, gets my personal blessing. So I will not recommend anything in there that I haven't vetted myself, invested in myself, tried out, and so forth, and I'm really sure of. So we protect all our members in there from a lot of the scams and schemes that are out there. But it's cool also for sharing this opportunity, and it's not mandatory to share Bitclub with anyone or recruit anyone to make money from your mining. But once you see what a great thing it is, you're going to want to share it, and you can actually earn extra bonuses and commissions from that. So that's a great concept. The original founders set it up in a really ingenious way, in my opinion, and it becomes just a perpetual Bitcoin producing machine for you that you can profit from for your entire life.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the smartest business ever invented.
Yeah.
And the reason you can do it everywhere in the world. You can pay in Bitcoin daily, tax-free. You literally are creating this perpetual money machine with 100% retention, zero attrition. So if you look at like most opportunities out there that are legitimate opportunities that aren't scams, right? I mean, I'd say 99.9% of all the Bitcoin opportunities out there are scams. I mean,
absolutely.
Bitcoin brings out, criminals, hackers, people that are just trying to rip people off, and because it's anonymous, and I mean, all the pluses about about Bitcoin can also be exploited by criminals, and so you got to watch yourself in the space.
Absolutely.
Well, for me, I mean, I've been around since 2010. I got my first Bitcoin at 85 cents a Bitcoin, and I watched it to $1 to $10 to $100 to
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, it's around $2,600 today or something like that.
2,600, 85 cents to $2,600. I put in $200. It's worth $500,000 now. It's
Yeah.
the craziest investment I've ever seen in my life. And so, anyways, it's like, I watch all these deals come and go, collapse. People get ripped off nonstop and all that.
Yeah. Well, they're exploiting the fact that most people don't take the time to become educated about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and what it really is. And that's what my group's really about, to educate people and show them different ways that they can invest, not just in Bitclub, but buying cryptocurrency directly and so on and so forth, and really steer them in the right direction so they don't fall prey to that. Some of the people who have ended up in my group did so because they got ripped off. So that Facebook group is the No Bullshit Bitcoin Zone, and you'll get the straight dope and the right information in there for sure.
And basically what's happened is this. A lot of people are realizing this is very profitable, right? But the whole reason is, like, we're telling you about this is for you to join us. Like, I was in Thailand the other day. It's a great story. And I tell this group of people, and they leave so excited. But the guy didn't take any action. I was like, whatever happened to that guy? I went back to Thailand like 8 months later, and I see him again. And I'm like, hey, whatever happened to you? You said you were so excited about this, asked me lots of questions. I took you and your friends to dinner and blah, 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 and nothing happened. He's like, well, I thought I was smarter than you, so I went online and bought $40,000 worth of equipment, and I paid these guys, but then they just kept my money and never sent me any equipment, so I got ripped off, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I told you all this to join me, not to just go try to do it on your own. And what happens? Right, you got ripped off. And I'm not saying you could probably figure out how to do this on your own, but here's the deal. When you buy a can of Coke from 7-Eleven, that can of Coca-Cola costs you $1. If you were to go to Safeway and buy a 6-pack, you'd get it for 75 cents a can. If you go to Costco and buy it by the case, you get it for like 30 cents a can. And if you go straight to Coca-Cola and buy it by the pallet, 25,000 cans at a time, you're getting it for like 13 cents a can, right? So what's smarter, buying it for $1 at 7-Eleven or Coca-Cola direct and at 13 cents a can? Well, most people can't buy in the volume we're buying. We buy $10 million of equipment at a time. So when other people are like, I'm going to go mine, I'm going to go on eBay and Amazon or whatever and find a miner and try to figure this out on my own at home, it's like they'll buy a $1,000 unit. We get that same unit for $400 because we buy $10 million at a time. We get a
absolutely.
And we got this data center in Iceland.
Definitely an economy of scale. Yeah, definitely an economy of scale at the size. Yeah, the size that you're doing it, and also the advantage being that ASIC miners, they take a lot of electricity, they run really hot, and they run really loud. So you don't want those in your house. And
no. Some people do. Some people order it and literally try to start mining in California. They'll sit on this call and they'll be like, I can do that. I can do that better because And then they buy the $1,000 unit we got for $400. They bring it to California where power is 40 cents a kilowatt hour. And here we are doing it for 6 cents a kilowatt hour. And then they'll get on the internet. I'm not making any money. Mining's not profitable. It is profitable if you join us.
Absolutely. And for everybody watching, this is a plug and play ownership investment. So all you have to do is join and buy whatever size shares you want and leave it. You don't have to do a damn other thing. And the thing is, even if you don't know everything you want to know about Bitcoin yet, I think you should know by now that you want some. And why buy a piece of gold when you can own a piece of the gold mine? And that's basically the equivalent of what we're doing here.
Good point. That's a great. Why own a piece of gold when you can own the gold mine that generates endless gold? I mean, think about it. Some people always argue with me, well, it's so much smarter for me to just buy and hold Bitcoin or buy. I look at it like you buy 1 Bitcoin or you buy an ounce of gold and you put it in your vault or your safe at home, and 5 years later you come back. Guess how much gold you still have? 1 ounce of gold is in there collecting dust, or 1 Bitcoin. It just sat there for 5 years, did nothing. Whereas what we're doing, we take that value, that ounce of gold, but instead of buying an ounce of gold or that Bitcoin, we turn it into Bitcoin mining hardware. which then generates us an endless supply of Bitcoin. You come back 5 years later, now you got 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 Bitcoin, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
put your money to work for you and generating cash flow, buy an asset. Instead of taking 50 grand and buying yourself a Mercedes Benz, you can take that 50 grand and buy an asset that pays the monthly car payment. 3 years later, the car is paid for, yet you still have that asset generating cash flow to buy you jet skis or a motorboat. That's the philosophy, is putting your money to work, buying assets, and then have the asset buy the doodads, as Robert Kiyosaki says.
Yeah, straight out of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Exactly. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, because by owning this mining equipment, by owning these shares, you're, instead of buying and holding Bitcoin or whatever other cryptocurrency, you're manufacturing it. You're getting it from the source. So you're going to have it. It's coming straight to you, except for the reinvestment part that's buying you more shares. And that's why it ends up being a perpetual machine. And
that's what's so cool. So I'll explain that really quickly.
Yeah, please do.
To join Bitclub and become a member, it's $99. And then what happens is, as a member, you can mine Bitcoin with us or Ethereum or both, whatever you'd like. Eventually, we have this merchant acquisition program we're going to launch called Coinbase, where we can actually go and sign up businesses, you know, your gas stations and grocery stores and hotels, and to become merchants to accept Bitcoin. Because, of course, the more people that are using Bitcoin and the more business that accept Bitcoin, the more valuable Bitcoin becomes. So we can basically force its value by getting millions of businesses to accept this, millions of people to start using this. So this is pretty cool, where we can basically determine the rate of our return. And so that's exciting for us, especially when we're building this army of members all over the world. We have now over 100,000 members in over 90 countries, and we're paying daily in Bitcoin. And there's no one else in the world doing that. So it's very exciting. And so let's say you want to mine Bitcoin. Those shares are $500 a share. You can buy as many shares as you'd like. If you want to mine Ethereum or Zcash or Monero, the GPU shares, the graphic cards, those shares are $1,000 a share. And basically, whatever the data center generates each day is dispersed in a daily dividend paid out to you in Bitcoin or your preferred cryptocurrency, which you can then put right on your credit card if you want, which I've got one of the cards that's on my other phone. And do you have one? Oh, here we go. This is my favorite way to kind of explain this. These are both Visa cards, right? Visa card, Visa card. They're both accepted anywhere Visa is accepted, right? So same card. This card is a Chase card backed by dollars. This one is backed by Bitcoin. So what really clicked for me is in 2010, I put $200 on this card, and I put $200 on this card. 2011, this card still only had $200. This card had $40,000 on it now because it's backed by Bitcoin.
Awesome.
Now
yes,
we fast forward to today. This card still, the cash card backed by dollars, still only has $200 on it. This one now has $500,000. I mean, why would you ever use this card again? Why wouldn't you just switch and use this card for, you know, I mean, you could back your Visa card with euros, yens, pounds, dollars. Why wouldn't you back it by Bitcoin? That's the best money in the world. And it makes it so easy. You can spend your Bitcoin now anywhere you want. So the miners generate all this Bitcoin for you, which you just drag and drop onto your Visa card, and you can go spend your Bitcoin. It's like having a card that never runs out of money. It's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Bitclub has its own debit. Doesn't Bitclub have its own Bitcoin debit card as well?
Well, we did. We have to order another round because we already sold it. But yeah.
What other credit card or what other debit card could you have that has more and more money in it every day?
And the reason is because Bitcoin is a deflationary currency, right? For the new people out there, the supply of Bitcoin is fixed at 21 million Bitcoin, and it can constantly, is the reward for the miners is cut in half, which makes it a deflationary currency, which means as the supply goes down and the demand goes up, the value goes up. This is why we've watched it go from $1 to $10 to $100 to $1,000 a Bitcoin, is because it's the opposite of this government-run fiat currency. This, when the government goes print, and the banks print all this money, inflation, it makes all of our money worth less and less and less. Inflation is theft. Inflation is a tax. And, if we did that, we'd go to jail, right? I mean, it's illegal to counterfeit, but they do it. They get away with it. So now we can use our own currency, our own Bitcoin that they can't manipulate, that's backed by math. 2 + 2 will always be 4. And I can trust that more than I can trust some banker some bureaucrat, some politician. You go around the world. Look at China and Venezuela hyperinflating the currency. Everywhere. Mexican peso in Argentina. I mean, all over the world. Wherever the governments are tyrannical and stuff, Bitcoin flourishes. Everyone's like, hallelujah. Finally, we have a choice. We don't have to get stolen from via our government. So it's bigger than just, we got these machines that print money. We make all this money, travel around the world, have fun, which is fun. But we actually get to change the world, too. We get to actually free humanity. And that's what's really exciting. So, hey, why don't you share with us? This is our friend Amina, who actually, didn't know anything about Bitcoin. She just came to check it out, too. And, I gave her first $5 in Bitcoin yesterday, and she's got her Coinbase wallet set up now, and she's got connections all over the world. She's lived in Luxembourg and Berlin, and why don't you kind of share with the group what you're thinking about this whole thing?
It's been a really cool experience, and Kiara is my friend, and she mentioned to me this really great experience that she had in Malta. And I told her, Bitcoin, oh my goodness, I heard about this a few years ago. I really would like some more information about it. She was like, well, I'll give you more information once I get there and everything. Then we met up again. And she was like, it would be really cool if you could come. Want me to ask? I said, oh, could you? And then she asked, and they said, sure, come. And then she's like, yeah, but it's in Iceland. I was like, oh, great. So not only is it really scenic here, but it's a really good opportunity. And on top of it being a really good opportunity, we have Joby here, who's really, he's so open-minded about the whole thing, about just explaining to me what's happening. Hey, do you want to jump on a Zoom call? You want to hear what's going on? When they were discussing a few things with a few other founders, they're all being completely just transparent. Usually when there's money flowing and it just seems too good to be true, people are really sketchy and they want to kind of hold it and not really discuss it. Can the ladies go out? Can we only talk to you, Joby? But they're all like, no, it's cool. You guys can have a seat, have a drink, listen up, learn something. And so this is really influential. I was talking to a few investors that I know from a few different places, few different corners of the world. One that I want to introduce Kiara to also, and they're very much interested. So I'm soaking in as much knowledge as I can, and I will hope to join you all soon.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a trip to Dubai here pretty soon, so stay tuned for that because, why not? There's lots of people in Dubai that have money that are excited about Bitcoin too. We've done these trips to Korea, to Kuala Lumpur, and we're hitting up the world and having fun at the same time. So I recognize a bunch of you guys here listening on this Zoom. I know some of you were here in Iceland, but I encourage you, if you're not involved with Bitclub yet, talk to the person that got you on this call. Get yourself an account set up. Get a wallet set up. If you need to start at step one by getting your wallet, procrastinate later and do it. Do it right now. There's exchanges all over. If you're out of the country, you can get those debit cards at Zappo is a good one. If you're in the United States, the Shift card or the BitPay card works well. You can drag and drop your Bitcoin on there. Ask about how to set up a wallet because there's a difference between an exchange and a wallet. And so the friend that brought you on this call can get you set up with both of those. And then, start mining with us, even if it's only for $500. Some people, they test the waters. My friend Frankie, who just left, he threw in $3,600 because he wanted to be a founder. And he's like, I'm just going to watch this for 2-3 months. And if it really does what you said it's going to do, maybe I'll throw some more. And that's fine, no pressure. And calls back in about a week. And he's like,
anyone who's not muted, please mute yourself. It's supposed to mute them when they come in.
Yeah,
I just see there's a couple of questions, so we're gonna get to it in a minute. All right, if you're not muted, mute yourself, please. There's a microphone icon in the lower left. Oh, that's you. Joby, I don't want to mute you.
It's all right. I can unmute myself.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna do that real quick again then. All right. Muting everyone. Back to you.
Unmuted. Okay.
Good. Yeah, that's great. So
we have telling everybody they should do this. I don't know how to say it any other way. Everybody, all my friends are like, I watched you tell me that this is $30, and I went to $500. I went to $1,000, and now it's $2,500. All right, I'm ready to start. Why not start now instead of having to wait till it's $10,000? And you'd be like, I remember you telling me at 25.
Yes, the best time to buy Bitcoin was 7 years ago, and the second best time is right now.
I'm hearing some feedback, but it's all
Yeah, me
good.
too. I can't find
I see Leslie is unmuted and
Yeah,
we've got Austin is unmuted. Okay, so so the idea is take action, get set up. You know, the whole idea is procrastinate later and do it now. That's what the information age is all about, is getting information first and then positioning yourself in front of these trends. The reality of this situation, and maybe you can share really quickly what happened with you. My friend Dave woke up and said he had an epiphany. Have a seat.
I did this morning.
So Dave actually was one of the guys that helped me become an entrepreneur when I was like 15, 16 years old. I was friends with his son. We used to go to Dave's house because he had a badass house, movie theater, seats and so I would, all the cool stuff. Yeah. We would bring our friends to come learn how to be entrepreneurs and stuff, right?
Right, yeah.
Dave was
how cute.
How cute. Until his son comes home next week with $5,000.
Yeah, and you drive up in some $40,000 supercar.
Yeah, well, I wanted the car. I got a Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. I'm 19 years old when I made my first $1 million, and they got me a car and all this. And Dave was like, "Whoa, this is happening!" And now it's been going for 15 years. 15 years. 15,
now, yeah.
More than 15 years. Dave, I finally talked Dave into coming and joining us because he's kind of famous. So you go.
I thought it was a millennial thing. I thought it was from millennials.
Yeah. So share your story. I mean, he's a CNN federal.
So I was an accident investigator for the FAA, and I went to Washington D.C. and started managing them and built the data center for all the information that goes across with airplanes and how it works and safety and all that kind of thing. So when I was asked to do this, I started thinking about blockchain. So I woke up last night. It finally sunk in when I came out here. Had to see it. I had to actually come here and see it for some reason. I guess the whole idea, our generation doesn't get that there's a whole digital world out there, I guess. So, but I came out here and saw it, saw the data center, saw what was happening and how it was working. The blockchain idea is something that's even more than just Bitcoin, I think. The idea of being able to have something from the existing world in the digital world exist as its own. So you're basically notarizing an action in the internet. So it can't be replicated, it can't be copied, it can't be deleted. It's all part of the blockchain. It's all part of what's there. So
fully transparent and accountable across the board.
Well, if we were using this years ago, there wouldn't be any Malaysia Airlines.
No, we've got all those 260 families that are waiting for where their loved ones are in Malaysia Airlines. That would not have happened if they had been using the blockchain from the beginning instead of the system that I designed with the FAA, which was old school. It was all we had at the time. But today, in today's world, if blockchain had been tracking all the 10,000 pieces of data that come from every airplane every second, if they had been tracing that and not lost it, then the airplane would not be lost either. We wouldn't have had to look for it for the last 3 years. On CNN, that's all I've been doing for the last 3 years is talking about this missing airplane. I wrote a book called Why Planes Crash. And this is why. The latest book I wrote was called Malaysia Airlines, Why It Disappeared and Why It's going to Happen Again. With blockchain, it doesn't have to happen. Blockchain is a way that does not have to happen. So there's a lot more to it than just that. So it's the ability to secure information, to document, to notarize each little block, each little piece of information becomes real in the internet. It's more virtual. It's not virtual currency. It's cryptocurrency. It actually really exists. So it took a while to get that sunk in, but it happened last night. Maybe it was a 24-hour light here in Iceland. Maybe that's what that happened.
So tell me from your perspective, what was the data center like? When you went to see what this thing was, what was your impression?
It was really impressive. I've actually set up data centers before. There were huge data centers. We spent
of servers
$16 billion a year with the Federal Aviation Administration setting up servers. What this is much more efficient and much more effective. Each little piece of this, each one of the little data. Do we have one of those machines that we brought?
I got one out in the car. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great to show that.
So we can show
that. So what it's like your video card. It's just a video card in your gaming computer or whatever. Just that part does all the encryption or decryption for the Bitcoin. So going in and seeing this thing, the amount of power, the amount of calculations that are going on, decalculating and deconstructing the algorithms, the amount of work that goes into this, there's racks and racks. What were they?
To the
15
ceiling.
feet high?
Yeah.
20 feet high. And then you go
Tens of
into a room.
thousands of them.
It was really cool. I'm kind of a techno geek, so I'll talk about it a little bit more, probably different than you guys want to know. If you want to know what time it is, I'll tell you how to build a watch. But at any rate, from the inside of a room is about 20 feet by 15 feet wide. And you go into this little room, and there's how many of these rooms? 50?
Yeah, it's a 45-acre facility.
Yeah, so there's all these rooms, but one of the rooms, you walk in and there's thousands of these little boxes that I'm going to show you here in a minute. So those boxes are churning away, cranking out all this heat, and all the heat gets sucked into this room, and then it goes up through the air conditioning system, and then treats that air and puts it back out. Yeah, here's the baby. So you can see
It's
the
Iceland,
box.
so it's cold air. So that's why one of the reasons you don't have to spend a lot of money on electricity to cool things, because it's Iceland.
It wasn't even,
Mr. Miners in California.
it wasn't even air conditioning the air. It was just pulling it in through filters, running it through. So this side of the box is where the air is going in, and so on this side you can see that the air was coming in and going into there.
Over the chips.
It comes out the outside, over across the chips, comes out the other side. It's all being drawn into the cold air. So all that heat. Am I doing that right?
Yeah,
the other way
straight
around.
up.
I think it was the other way around. No, it was that way. Okay. So the hot air is coming into the room, and then we get sucked out through the top. So those rooms were like hot.
Yeah, but you can feel the draft. They were huge fans that just
suck
that are stuck in there right
So there's
there.
thousands of these things in each and every room, and they're just moving and they're cranking. You can see each of these processors here, and each one of those is working on the algorithm. It's mining. It's just chipping away.
Yeah, and then that's just
Actual machine that prints money, guys.
This is it. This is the
that's
one.
it.
Yeah.
And I got it. Right.
And so
We gave away these machines to all of the people that showed up as a gift to bring home. And
I thought you just did.
well, you were one of the 200 people that showed up, so you got one.
Yeah.
But I just need to see how they travel home with it on TSA. You know,
That's
trying
gonna
to
be
bring
fun.
it on the airplane and stuff. They're like, sir.
that's awesome.
You could still wear it away.
So So just so people understand the scale of this, and Bitclub is Bitclub Network, and this mining facility, along with some other facilities around the world, is mining about 5% of all the Bitcoin in the world. 5% of all the Bitcoin worldwide. Now, Joby, can you explain the scale of that from that one machine to how much computing power that takes to do that?
Okay, so basically a laptop computer, one laptop is a gigahash. That's the processing speed. If you put 1,000 laptops together, that's a terahash. Okay, this is about 2 terahash. So the processing speed of this is like 2,000 laptops. It's crazy. If you get 500 of these in the room, you know that's a petahash. I get that right?
1,000.
Yeah, because 1,000. Yeah,
1,000.
1,000 terahash is a petahash. So petahash is basically 1,000,000.
You froze up there, Joby. You just froze up there. So a petahash is a million. You broke up there for a second.
Basically, okay. So I'll start over. A laptop's a gigahash.
Let me stop you right there. Basically, this is a shitload of computing power. We are dominating Bitcoin
Yeah,
mining.
we have like 200 million laptop computers because a petahash is 2 million laptops, and our thing is 200 petahash. So imagine how big our room has to be with 200 million laptops in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like 1,000
So
laptops in there.
Yeah.
Just one, right?
Yeah.
And so when to everybody out there, when you buy shares, you're actually buying this machinery. It takes 10 days for it to get set up, and it's mining for you. And so we're
You can take delivery of it any time if you want to try to mine. But it's a lot easier to just have us do it for you.
Yeah,
We have it in a way that we'll save 30% of your daily dividend aside, up to 30%. You can do a 50-50 split or 60-40 split. And what happens is we save that so that when the new chips come out, because those are 20 nanometer chips, now the stuff we're replacing those with are the 16 nanometer chips, and eventually there'll be the 10 nanometer chips, just like how when you buy an iPhone, it was the iPhone 3 to the 4 to the 5, now we're on the iPhone 7, right? Everything gets faster and more efficient and cheaper, et cetera. So we have to keep a little bit of our profits set aside so that we can constantly be buying the newest tech. So when you join, you get a 1,000-day contract, which equates to buying physical Bitcoin mining hardware. Let's say you're doing a 50-50 split, 50% of that daily dividend you can spend to buy yourself another share, which equates to another 1,000-day contract. with newer equipment every time. So it's meant to be a perpetual money machine that will go forever. Kind of like, because the last Bitcoin will be mined in the year 2140. So we have like 120 years of mining to do. And then after all the Bitcoins are out, we get all the transaction fees. So this could be like a money machine that's generational wealth, something that you can like leave for your children. How about an inheritance? Does anybody leave an inheritance? Anyone? Come on, would you like to be someone that could leave your wealth for your children's children? That's what a wise man is. A wise man is someone who leaves wealth, leaves an inheritance for his children's children. I know some people that die in debt. You don't want to be a statistic and die in debt. You want to be wise. You want to.
Or they're working when they're 70 years old. They still have to work. You see them in like they're like fucking greeters at Walmart and stuff. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad thing.
Don't be that.
All the information is free. It's all on the internet. It's all there for you. You just got to apply the knowledge and do it. You know, and that's the only difference between. I see this all the time. I mean, Corey. I sat down with Corey over here. Corey and his buddy are good friends of mine, Dylan and Corey. They both heard the same thing. I was in their backyard. Corey took action. And no, what's happened with you, Corey? Give me your little testimonial. I mean, you put in $500. How much is it worth?
So Joby came to my house a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now, and he gave me a little bit of Bitcoin, and I was pretty leery about it, but instantly I watched it grow. So right off the bat, like, all right, I got $599. Let's see how this thing goes. So that was a year and a half ago. I've made 400% on that investment. I've now upped to be a founder at the $3,500 level, and I've signed up a whole bunch of people under me and continue to do that because I'm trying to help people really get this information and understand it. And the shtick that I really kind of use is the same thing that Joby taught me, which is just to give away Bitcoin. So about a month ago, I posted on Facebook, I was like, hey, if you like money and you want some free money, message me. And so,
Brilliant.
you know, people were like, oh, that's a scam, I don't know, but somebody actually messaged me and was like, I'd like some free money. And so I started to give out Bitcoin to them. And so what it's all about for me as a filmmaker and a friend of Joby is just to kind of pass it on and to help people understand that this new technology exists, that it's real, that it's something that you can actually really benefit in your life. And it's changed my life considerably because not only have I made money, which is great, but I understand a new technology. And because of my ability with video cameras to work with Joby, now Joby and I are traveling around the world together, doing all these amazing things. And guess what? It's all paid for by Bitcoin. And it's because of the Bitclub, because it continuously prints money. And as we as a movement of people who are into, you know, we're what you would call the early adopters, because the innovators are already on board. Now we have the early adopters who are us, the people on this call who are willing to listen to something new and take something new and move it forward. So now we're trying to bring it to the masses. So if that takes giving away Bitcoin, I'll give away some Bitcoin because Joby's changed my life. And I'm glad that I could help share this with whoever is on the call because of me, because it's an amazing thing. So do the research, understand, get a wallet, get it set up, buy some Bitcoin, and then get into mining because the two cards that he just showed you are my cards. And I love that card because every day I get money, magical money printed from this magical machine that goes onto a Visa card that I can spend. Yeah. I can go to an ATM. I can take out cash.
I have that same Shift card from Coinbase. I just put a link in there in the chat for anybody who needs a wallet and wants one that can connect to an exchange and also get a Bitcoin Visa card from it.
And you know what? Here's the deal. It's the go-giver plan. It's like the sowing and reaping philosophy. People understand karma, whatever. You give and then you get. It's a reciprocal law of the universe.
The giving comes first.
It's a wonderful thing. You know what? If you follow this philosophy, your life is so good because you have so much good karma coming back to you all the time because all you're doing is giving. And that's what I like the best. So I read this book by Bob Berg called The Go-Giver. And then what I do is I give everybody a Coinbase wallet, which is free for them.
Yep.
And then they set up their wallet. I give them all $1. Let's say I give 10 people the wallet and I give them each $1. Just to show them, I mean, if you're special, you get $5.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I've been doing the same thing. Yeah.
And then, but this is the steps. This is how you get rich. You give away $1 to 10 different people, and then you tell them buy some Bitcoin through the app. And if on their first buy, they get $10 in Bitcoin for free. Now, unfortunately, only about 3 of the 10 people apply the knowledge and take action, right? 80, 90% of success is just showing up. and taking action. So
Absolutely.
3 of the people buy the Bitcoin, right? So they each get $10 of Bitcoin for free. Well, I get $10 because they use my link. So
Yeah.
10 times 3, that's $30. So what I do, I gave away $10, I get 30 back. I give away
Absolutely.
$10, 30 back. If you do that every day, you will have a steady flow of people coming through. They always say yes because you're giving them away free money. And who says no to having free money? I mean, we did this with Mayweather the other day. Floyd Mayweather. It's like, you want some of the best? He calls himself the money team. Like, you guys, you're collecting fiat notes, debt notes. Why would you want to collect that crap when you got Bitcoin you can have instead? So that's kind of the idea is you can do this with everyone everywhere. And then, you just plant the seeds. You plant the seeds. And you never know which one's going to grow. But you can't have a harvest if you're not planting seeds.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. For everyone tuning in the chat, there's a link for a Coinbase wallet that will give you $10 back on your first $100 of cryptocurrency. So use that link, get things set up. And I've been doing that in person, like you are, Joby. But your man had the great idea of using social media for that. I got 5,000 friends on social media
for Facebook birthdays.
Yeah.
Every day I'm notified who's having a birthday. And what do people that have birthdays like? They like birthday presents, especially in the form of money, So I actually went and bought yourbirthaybitcoin.com, and then I'm like, happy birthday. I'd love to buy you beer for your birthday. Do you want Bitcoin? I'll send you some Bitcoin. Send me your Bitcoin wallet. I'll send you some money to buy your beer or soda or whatever you want for your birthday. And then most of the people haven't set up a wallet yet, so they set it up. Then I send them some Bitcoin for their birthday.
Perfect. So this is what I wanted to ask you. You mentioned we've been talking about the Ethereum mining shares, which I just bought one of. So just for everyone watching, I have a $3,500 founder share plus another $1,000 Ethereum mining share, EPU mining share. And you said that cranked out some money really fast for you, Joey. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude. Well, I mean, Ethereum, we started mining when it was $12. It's like $350 now. I mean, I put every $1,000 share I bought, it's already mining me $10,000 worth of Ethereum, and I bought a lot of them. But I don't want to sell it. I think Ethereum is going to keep going. It's like yes, I made all this money, but I don't actually want to sell it to realize it because I don't want Federal Reserve notes. I don't want dollars. And everybody's like, oh, give me some Bitcoin or give me some Ethereum so I can do this. And I'm like, I don't want your money. I want to keep my Bitcoin.
Exactly. Well, that's kind of why.
Like her. She's like, can't I just PayPal you? I'm like, I suppose. And I look at the pay $8,000. I was like, you paid me $8,000. I thought you were wanted $500. $8,000. Dang it! I had to give up all my Bitcoin. Anyways, I got it back. You know what I'm saying? Walk people through the steps. Step 1, give them a wallet. Step 2, get them to buy a little Bitcoin. Step 3, show them how to join Bitclub and start mining with us. Step 4, teach them to do the same, and we'll build this army of all these people that can now make a full-time income sharing the good news about Bitcoin and freedom and blockchain, and this is what it's all about. So
absolutely, I love it. I love.
You gotta make money somehow. You can be a teacher. You can change tires at Discount Tire. You can be a waiter. Wouldn't you prefer to have complete freedom to travel around the world and do everything and go everywhere and share Bitcoin along the way? I mean, to me, I think that's the coolest thing ever.
I'm all over that.
Yeah, bro, you gotta come on the next one, bro.
Yeah, everybody watching should be too. Okay, let's just handle a couple questions and wrap this up because it's late over there. It's almost, what's it, about after 10 p.m. over there in Iceland right now. Is that right? No.
8:12 right now. But you know what's crazy about here? Tomorrow's the longest day of the year, the summer solstice.
Right on.
And the sun never sets. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, it looks like it's noon outside. It's crazy.
Yeah. So Jeff Reamer had his hand up before. I don't see him in here anymore, so we'll pass on that. And then
we got a question right here.
Okay.
I got a question in my chat, which is about the sign-up procedures. How do you sign up? What does the $99 cover? What do you get for that $99? And should you just give $99 or can you do more? So the answer to that I understand is the $99 gets you into the club and gives you marketing materials. It gives you your own personalized website with 10 translated foreign language websites that you can send to anybody all over the world It's got your own personal link with your name on it so that you get marketing materials, your own website, so that you can do that. That's what the $99 covers, as well as the support staff that's included. So anytime you have a problem or you have a question, you can send them an email, and within a day or two, they'll get to you pretty quickly and answer your question. So that, and the process of how to start in Bitclub was a question. But
okay, cool. And listen, $99. Can you name anywhere ever that you can actually have a website for $99? I mean, everyone that I've ever asked that builds websites, they're charging thousands of dollars, right? So, I mean, that's a good deal. And now you're part of the club. You can start making money by referring people. You get a link, just like you do with Uber. Like, it's so funny. People pay for Uber. You know that you can drive around in Ubers for free? There's a thing that says invite your friends. When you give your friend this link and they get their first ride on Uber is free, and you get a free ride too. So every time you give away a free ride, you get a free ride. I've been riding on Uber for 2 years for free. Why would you pay for Uber or pay for Airbnb or pay for anything when you can get it for free by referring people? So that's kind of exactly how Bitclub works. Is yes, you can buy the equipment, you can mine away, but if you help us crowdfund, if you send out your link and say, hey, join us, we pay you a lot of money to do that because we have that huge spread. We buy that $1,000 machine for $400. That's a 60% discount. That spread, we not only are passing the savings along to our members, but we actually have created an amazing compensation plan where you can make a full-time income just talking up Bitcoin, inviting people to join the mine. And people come in, with crazy money. I mean, all the time people are coming in, $10,000 here, $50,000 there, $100,000 there, because they're looking at this as an investment, buying an asset. They look at it differently than if they were to join some opportunity to sell skincare or vitamins. I mean, I've never heard of a network marketing vitamin company that had a $50,000, $100,000 sign-up pack. But with this, I mean, people are throwing down some serious cash. So it's not who you know, it's who your friends know. And someone knows someone that's going to bring in, it's going to change your life financially forever.
I think I'm pretty positive that one founder share, especially if you throw in one GPU share, will be worth millions to you within the next few years. I don't feel out of line making that prediction, and that's why I bought into it, and that's why I want to share.
You're not the only one saying it. I mean, the richest people in the world are saying it. Yeah. I mean, all the billionaires have already taken positions. It's like success leaves clues. If all the billionaires are doing something, and I'm so smart, I'm not going to do that. The billionaires are, but you follow what the billionaires are doing. If you can do what successful people do, and you will get successful too. I mean, that leaves clues.
Yeah.
So when I see all the billionaires doing this, I'm like, this is a freaking no-brainer. They have lawyers. They have money to vet their deals and do their due diligence and all this kind of stuff, and that's what they're doing. I'm going to do that.
Joby, man, I just
posted Hill.
Hey, yeah. Daryl.
Hey, man, I just posted it on the wall. I take action and orders real well. So you told me to post it, and I already have people sending me messages that I want $10 at Bitcoin.
Good job. Great. Well,
you should have done it. You should have done it for $1. You're gonna go broke now.
What's the deal? How's this thing work?
Hey, Pete. I see Pete. He's throwing down serious cash. He's gonna be a multi-millionaire with this thing. Good to see you, brother. Are you in Australia? Oh, you're muted out too. Anyways, I'll call you after this call, Pete. I can't wait to catch up with you, bro. So yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell, guys. It's really exciting as we watch Bitcoin hit 10,000 and then 100,000. We're going to be able to help all of our friends become very wealthy. We're going to see the wealth of the wicked, which has been stored up for the righteous. I truly believe that a large transfer of wealth is taking place right now, and we're sucking it out of the hands of the cartels, and we're going to give it to the people. We're going to help humanity become free, and that's what this mission is all about. So I encourage you to join us and take action and get back with the person that told you about this, and we'll have this recorded so you can share this link with other people, and let's get an army together, guys, and bring this to the world.
Absolutely. Let's do it. There is one more question that I wanted to ask myself. For the CoinPay portion, which founders get 2,000 shares of in the CoinPay company, could you just give us a quick rundown on that?
Yeah, sure. CoinPay is Well, okay, whenever you start anything, you want to have the exit in mind. A lot of people, it's ready, fire, aim. They don't aim first. They just fire and then they aim. Right? Meaning you got to think about what's your exit strategy before you start something, right? And so us, you know, we're like, okay, Bitcoin, we're mining away to this. Why don't we create our own coin? Because we're creating an army of affiliates and people that are promoting Bitcoin. Well, we'll create our own coin called a proof of stake coin. Bitcoin is proof of work. Proof of stake is very inexpensive to run. You don't have to spend tons of money. Right now, we're spending $1 million a month on electricity to mine Bitcoin, but if it was a proof of stake coin, we wouldn't be spending hardly anything. So in terms of management, our club coin is pretty amazing. So we've given away club coin to all of our members and founders, which is on the exchanges right now. You can go to Bittrex, you can buy it, you can sell it, you can spend it on stuff. It's about 30 cents a coin. So I think the market cap of club coin is something like $30 million. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's great. We've given away like $30 million in club coin, and now what we're doing is creating the merchant acquisition app CoinPay, which allows us to go sign up businesses and grocery stores and hotels and gas stations, right? So you and our army of 100,000 people around the world can go canvass the neighborhoods, build sales teams to go and sign up businesses to become merchants, to accept Bitcoin and club coin. Because through the CoinPay app, they'll be able to accept both. Well, what if there's a couple 100,000 businesses that accept club coins? What happens with club coin? Club coin becomes way more valuable than 30 cents. I mean, there's coins out there right now that are like $30 to $50, and you can't spend them anywhere. They don't even have wallets. They're super speculative, right? And at least with our coin, you'll be able to actually use it as money and spend it all over the world. And so what we do is with CoinPay, we charge a 1% transaction fee on all those transactions that the merchants do whenever they accept Bitcoin or club coin. And the merchants love it because they're already paying 3% for Visa, 1%, and there's no chargebacks with Bitcoin. They love it. So all the merchants say yes. And then what happens is that 1% transaction fee gets put into a pool and then dispersed in a daily dividend to the CoinPay shareholders. We're not selling CoinPay shares. We're giving them away for free to the founders. So we want all of our friends to be rich. Because here's what's going to happen. We're going to have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of businesses in the next 3 years that are going to join, which we're then going to take, well, we'll get a lot of dividends and stuff. I don't know if the idea is to either take the company public, go on like the Hong Kong exchange where we can get that multiplier, or maybe we get acquired by Visa. Maybe that Visa comes and says, oh, okay, we'll give you $5 billion, for your business. And voila, I mean, that's $5 billion is a billion shares. That would be
Joby, back to earth real quick for me, right? All right. So I got somebody, they want to sign up. Like, what do I do? Like, give me the Barney style, break it down shotgun style for this.
Step one, get a
This
wallet.
jarhead.
Yeah, this jarhead.
Step one, get a wallet. Step two, get Bitcoin.
Show me where to go get a wallet. Go online.
Post it. Your Coinbase wallet. The link.
Where's that at?
You have it in your back office in Coinbase.com. Log in and there's a button that says invite a friend. That code is tied to you. If your friend clicks that code, they get $10 and you get $10. So it's in the back office of Coinbase.com. Invite a friend.
In Coinbase.
Your unique URL is there.
Okay, so I go to Coinbase.com. I log in. I get my unique link, and then I just sign them up.
Then you send the link to them, and then they sign up and set up a wallet.
Yeah.
And they get $10 and you get $10.
That's step one. Now, step two is what?
Well, buy Bitcoin through the Coinbase app. Now that they got the wallet, now they link their bank account, they click buy, and they can buy Bitcoin right through the app, or they can sell Bitcoin right through the app. It's just kind of like how PayPal or Venmo or anything else works. It's really simple.
But then the people who are inside the United States, like myself, who want to sign people up, like in the Bitclub, is that step two?
No, step three is sign them up in a Bitclub. You gotta get a wallet, get some Bitcoin, then have them join Bitclub. If they're in the United States, Bitclub blocks all United States IP addresses because the United States isn't friendly to, people becoming free. They don't like that. They want you to be a slave. So. Right. We don't 1099 anybody. We're not reporting any income that we're paying anybody. And so because of that, we're just blocking U.S. citizens because U.S. citizens are, you know, they have the IRS and the SEC and all these guys that basically want to steal all your money, and they think they own you, you know? And so if we block IP addresses from the US, then if the IRS ever comes to us and says, hey, we want to have a list of all the Americans that have joined Bitclub, we could say, we don't have Americans that have joined Bitclub because we block Americans from joining Bitclub because we block all IP addresses out of the United States. Now, most Americans are like, oh, I can't join. Well, we don't ask you if you're an American. We don't ask you for your social security number, your address, or anything.
Or your real name, even.
We don't even need your real name. All we ask you is for your Bitcoin wallet address. That's what we pay the Bitcoin to, is your wallet address. So what smart Americans do, if they want to believe and act as if they were free human beings, is they change their IP address to an IP address outside of America. So
Yeah, I gotta do that.
I just put the instructions.
If you want to play poker, you can't in America, you can't even get online and play poker or gamble. In China, same thing in China. You go to China, you can't go on YouTube or Facebook. You know, they definitely think they own you there.
Cuba. You can't do that in Cuba either, right?
So all these countries, you know, Americans aren't used to, like, well, I don't know. I can't speak for, but all the Europeans and foreigners that I talk to, everybody's got a VPN. And I talk to Americans, they don't even know what a VPN is. It's like, what? How do you not know what a VPN is? Everyone on earth knows what a VPN is. Why don't you, right? So I basically teach people that are in America, look, download a browser called Opera, and a free VPN right in Opera. You can actually change your computer's IP address to one in Sweden or Hong Kong or Australia or Canada or whatever. And so then you're not entering, like, say if I'm in China and I want to go to Facebook, I first do a VPN to, like, Paris, and then I get to Facebook from my Paris IP address, and then I'm not censored. Whereas if you're just using an IP address in China, you can't get to Facebook. You can't get to YouTube. So same thing here. If you're an American trying to play poker, you have to change your IP address of your computer with a VPN to enter the internet in Europe, so now you can play poker. Or same thing if you want to join Bitclub. You can't join Bitclub with an IP address in the United States. You have to get a VPN and use an IP address outside the United States to join, because it's like a tax haven. This is like growing tons of money tax-free.
I've posted the exact instructions, including a screencast demonstration about how to download the Opera browser and how to set up the VPN in the chat. So if you're in the US, make sure you copy and paste that, because it's going to be gone after the call. Otherwise, join my cryptocurrency group on Facebook, and the instructions are in there as well, or PM me on Facebook, Ryan Keith Noonan, and we'll get you set up.
Hey, Joby, I got a question. What's your opinion on what's going on with Coinbase? Like, they're not in Wyoming and Hawaii now.
Well, it's not Coinbase's fault. It's the idiot bureaucrats and politicians that pass laws because they think you're their slave and they don't think you deserve freedom.
Right.
So another thing is this: if you're in Hawaii, they won't let you have a Coinbase account. Just like if you're Bitclub, if you're in Hawaii, we won't let you join Bitclub either, because we don't want to mess with your owners. Because the United States government is very powerful. They own you. You are collateral. They want to, like, own everything. Even if you move out of America and live in Australia for 30 years, you never step foot back in America again, America still thinks they own you and wants you to file taxes and pay them, even though you haven't even set foot in the country for 30 years. That's what's happening in America. It's no longer a free country, and anyone that tells you that is your enemy. Remember that Rage Against the Machine song? So I tell you what, bro, it's like, you know, if you want to join Coinbase and you're in New York or you're in Hawaii and you're in Wyoming and that state has blocked Coinbase from doing business in that state, get a VPN, change your IP address to Colorado, and now all of a sudden you can get your Coinbase account. So it's just the only way Coinbase or Bitclub or anyone else can block you from doing anything is by blocking that IP address, which is a simple workaround by getting Opera and using the VPN. So,
okay.
And other exchanges too. Gemini is a great exchange. Local Bitcoins you can get Bitcoin from. There's a website called howtobuybitcoins.info. So you have friends in Cambodia or Australia or South Africa or wherever. It teaches you what exchanges work where in the world and what currencies. Mexicans pay with pesos. Coinbase doesn't deal with pesos. So you got to go to Bitso if you got Mexicans that want to join, right?
Yeah.
So
That's what I do is I take Coinbase, I buy through Coinbase, and then I immediately take it into Jax.io as an example, because I know they're smoother in making transactions with them and everything. What's your opinion about these hard wallets like the
I love them. In fact, sorry, bros, my thing was ringing. Tell Jared to stop calling me. Decline. So I use, we sell through Bitclub. Do you have one? Yeah. Ledgers. Ledger and Trezor. Well, we don't sell Trezor. I want them to sell Trezor, but Ledger is a little bit easier. Ledger is a French company, but here's what members here got are these Bitclub hardware wallets. On this is the ability to take your Bitcoin off the private key to your Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is everywhere. It's all over in all the countries. What you need is the key, the private key because it's a cryptocurrency. You need the key to get in. All right. This holds your key. It's much safer to have your Bitcoin keys on this than on your computer or your phone or whatever, because there's hackers and when someone steals your phone, right, or you lose your phone, it's good to have your keys backed up. So this can hold Clubcoin, our cryptocurrency. It can hold Bitcoin, of course, Zcash, Ethereum. So you can actually, it's a multi-currency wallet. So we sell these in the back office of Bitclub. You just click the store button and you can get these. Trezor's good too. We don't sell Trezor, but they're a great one too. I've got Trezors as well, but it's really Ledger and Trezor. Those are the two best.
Awesome, man. I appreciate your answers, and I'm excited to get going with this. I haven't been taking it very seriously, but I'm going to start. So
I'm excited to work with you, Scott. It's great to see you on the call, bro.
Yeah.
Right on, Scott. Way to go. Hey, we're going to wrap this up now. A lot of questions are coming in that sort of about basic, the foundational information about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. If you request to join my Facebook group, we talk about this all day, every day, and help out, especially beginners, to get going in various ways with their wallets, with their Bitclub shares, and a variety of different things. So please go ahead and request to join. I'll approve your request to join my group. The links are in the side here. And I think that's going to be about it for now. It was a great call, Jody. Thank you so much.
We're going to let Jared close this out, huh? Spotlight's on you. Spotlight's on you.
What do you want me to say?
So you got a lot of team members that are watching too. You just posted this, Tell
yeah. I think I saw a few people actually join in, like Marco, I know. There's Ralph that I know. So yeah, thanks for joining and watching the call. As you can see, it's all real. You can see the people behind this, and the people are actually making it happen. So I think a lot of people, the issue was that they were thinking it might be Ponzi or any of this, but that's why I came to Iceland, because I wanted to actually prove there is something that's actually making this work. So
yeah, a real business behind it. That's the difference. There's a real business, and it's not just shuffling around the cards, so to speak.
Exactly. And even for me, to actually see the machinery and see how it works actually made it easier for me to actually believe in it more. I mean, I already believed in it because I met Joby and I could see, his wallet and see if he's a real person, and he had nothing to hide. But just seeing through his integrity might not be enough for most people. But anyway, so basically I wanted to say, thanks for making it to the call. And for those of you watching me or maybe any other of the members here, just hit me up. Let's get you started. Let's make you rich. Honestly, have never believed in anything as much as this. I don't think I've ever been so excited, because either way, you're going to make money. Whether you just invest in this and let it sit there, actually build with this, you're just going to become phenomenal. And your biggest and wildest dreams will come true. Just these 2 days, I had so much fun in the lagoon. I think
it's true. It's true. I mean, there's guys. We have 37 people now making over $100,000 a month. My buddy Joe, he just bought a Lamborghini 2 months ago, and he covered in Bitclub, locos and stuff. And then he bought a Rolls Royce next month. I'm like, Joe, you bought a Lambo last month, a Rolls this month, a new house that month. it's pretty mind blowing to see that, you know, when you get to the masses, you create this army, the passive residual income. It's the only way to get free, you know, where you have assets paying you 24/7, making money while you sleep, and that's what this is all about. So I think this girl is going to be a superstar, and follow her if you were invited in. And she says jump, you say how high. That's what you should be saying right now. So.
Absolutely. And you know, for the people in my group, I've only had my account with Bitclub and my shares for 10 days, and 4 of my people from my cryptocurrency group have also bought shares. So they understand it, and they realize how amazing it is. So they're buying in, and we're going to build a really great team. Like you said, an army. So, guys, if you're not in my Facebook group, which I've put the link in the side here, it's Crypto Dynamics Investment Club, please get in there. You can get all the right information and learn about Bitcoin. And, you know, if somebody else invited you to this call here besides me, that's the one you want to get to sign up for Bitclub. But there's lots of things that can help you understand it in the group and learn the basics of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So it's a great educational resource. And I think we're going to wrap it up. So this has been Brian Keith Noonan from the Crypto Dynamics Investment Club with JOBY Weeks, one of the original co-founders of Bitclub Network. We have a huge Bitcoin and Ethereum mine up in Iceland, and we're expanding it with an army of co-founders. So that's about it, unless anybody has anything else.
Cheers, guys.
I'll send you this recording. It'll be up on YouTube, okay? Next couple hours.
Bro.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.